it is 12 o'clock. I will call the Committee on Government Operations to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kniezek, Commissioner Clark Coleman, Commissioner Basham. Vice Chair Colleen has requested to be excused. Chair Daub,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
Have none. Next item.
Item C, approval of the May 25th, 2022 meeting minutes.
Moved. Would anyone like to support the meeting minutes? Moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item.
Item D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Next item.
Item E1, under new business, communication from Donna Wilson, Director, Personnel Human Resources Department, forwarding a report on the succession plan for senior appointee positions.
Do we have any questions on item number 1? Items number 1 and 2 together. Madam Clerk, item number 2.
Communication from Sue Hammoud, Deputy Corporation Counsel, forwarding the Department of Corporation Counsel Settlement Report for February through May 2022.
Do we have any questions or discussion on item number 2, the settlement report? Can I get a motion to receive and file items 1 and 2? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of a 1-year comparable source contract with a 1-year option to renew with Capstone Employment Services.
Is there anyone here for this item?
Yes, Chair Dobb, this is Dwayne Seals from the Deputy Wayne County Clerk.
Welcome. Just tell us a little bit about the contract with the temp agency for the
Sure.
clerk's position.
Sure. As you know, that about a year ago, we actually entered an agreement with Kelly Services to provide 5 temporary services. I think this was something that was worked out with the CEO's office and the union. Throughout the year, we have actually had a hard time actually finding employees through just that one temporary service. It's uncommon. We usually have about maybe 2 to 3 individuals. But in that time period, our need for more temporary service have grown. We now have about 105 vacancies within the office. So what we did is went out and got 2 contracts, one from Capstone and another one that you'll be receiving in a couple of weeks from Roth Staffing. And what we're asking is for up to 12 temporary employees that could be trained and fill into the positions that we have open.
Okay, so this is up to 12 employees. Have they provided any resumes or any potential employees to us? Have they provided any proof that they will have employees?
They have assured us, but again, I mean, it's all based upon need as temporary services. So they may not. That's why we say up to 12. I mean, it's not uncommon, like, for example, with Kelly Services, we had up to 5. A lot of times we only had maybe just 2 or 3 at a time. So that's why we're asking for up to 12, and we're going with 2 separate companies. So we have a different company coming in next in a couple of weeks. So we're hoping that maybe from the 2 companies, we'll be able to get 12 or 15 employees.
And we only pay for the employees if they are working for us. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Exactly. So, for example, they're temporary, they're filling vacancy positions. But as soon as we were able to hire the employees that come in as union employees, we would actually move those into those positions. if they would like to. Now, there have been a few who have actually asked to come and work full-time with us. So they've left the temporary agency and moved over and started working for the clerk, Wayne County. So we're hoping there is a provision that these employees can move over. However, if we have employees of individuals actually hired for these individuals, that they can come in and so we wouldn't use these individuals if we didn't have vacancies.
Any questions from Commissioner Basham?
Yes, I'm not a fan of comparable source contracts, as everybody knows. And my thing is, if you bid it out and only one company responds, then I'm okay with it. But as complex as this is, and it happens with the sheriff's department as well as the clerks, as well as the administration, I'm going to probably be a reluctant yes on this, but I typically don't like to support comparable sources. But thank you.
Through the chair, Commissioner Basham, this actually, the clerk was very concerned about that as well. These companies came to us through personnel. They actually recommend these two positions for these two companies. And from what I understand, these two companies are only ones that actually really responded to their request when they called out for it, when they called around for these companies.
Further commissioner questions on this item? Let's move on to item number 4. Let's go through 4 and 5, and then we'll take a vote. Madam Clerk.
We're moving on to the addenda. Item 4, requesting commission approval of a 1-year comparable source contract with Oracle America.
I've got a couple of questions on this item. I know we've got our CFO and IT with us today. Can we just get an explanation of this contract and where we're at with the ERP implementation? What exactly is this e-learning program for at this stage of the implementation?
Director, Department of Information Technology. I can talk about the first part about this contract. This contract is for Oracle training licenses for several departments that would need training before the actual ERP application is online.
Okay, so where are we at roughly with the implementation?
Madam Chair, Huey Newsome, Chief Financial Officer for the county. Currently, right now, we're working with Oracle to review their scope, their proposed scope. We have a quote in hand, and we're working through whether or not that scope will properly address all of our functional needs throughout each of the areas of administration that will be using the system. And so that process hopefully will be done around the 4th or 5th of July. And our goal here is to get something in front of this body in terms of a contract request by the second GovOps meeting in July. It could slip to the 1st of August, but our goal is the 2nd of July. But as you know, we've hired the PMO, and we appreciate your support in hiring Guidehouse as the PMO. We made that step. And now we're reviewing the scope of the systems implementation contract with Oracle.
As far as the training goes, do you consider this a little premature with when people will actually be using the system?
Well, I also want the Director of IT to chime in on this too, but the way that it works is it's an all or nothing thing with the licenses. And so we need the training to go along with the licenses that we had to pre-buy, pre-implementation. So the contract that I spoke of before was for the implementation and the change in management for the licenses that have already been bought. And so it's an all or nothing pre-buy for those licenses. So unfortunately, that's the way that we purchase, or these licenses will be purchased. So the training goes along with it. Did you want to add anything?
Sure. And then I also want to add that the training is for the subject matter experts. So once the system does go live, there'll be additional training for the users of the system. But these actual training licenses are for the subject matter experts for each department.
Okay, so it's for the people who will be implementing it. Okay, got it.
That's correct.
Okay. Are there any commissioner questions on this item? Thank you very much. All right, Madam Clerk, item number 5, please.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of amendment number 1 to a 2-year legal services agreement with Kitch, Drutches, Wagner, Valatutti, and Sherbrooke.
Mood?
Good afternoon, Sue Hamud, Deputy Corporation Counsel. This is a modification to a legal services contract that we have with Kitch. We sent this matter out to Kitch for trial. Trial was scheduled to commence on June 6th and was just recently adjourned by the court, again indefinitely, but this is a case that's almost definitively going to trial.
Any questions on this item? Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Mood. Okay, can I get a motion for items number 3, 4, and 5? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Moving back to the agenda, item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Kunizek.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just prior to public comments, wanted to offer my congratulations and thanks to you. I've seen on social media that you had the great pleasure of being with our governor this week as she signed into law the new legislation that expands county commission terms from 2 years to 4 years. I can think of 15 people who really appreciate that work. But I know that it was many hands that went into that, yours certainly being one of them, and the phenomenal advocacy that you do through the Michigan Association of Counties. So I wanted to congratulate you on that opportunity and thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Item G, public comments.
Do we have any emails?
No emails have been received.
Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to make a public comment? We have one hand raised, President Buffington.
Yes, this is President Buffington on item number 3. As far as I'm aware, union didn't have any agreement with personnel to bring in employees from Kelly Services. I just want to make you all aware.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on Zoom who would like to make a public comment at this time? Is there anyone here in person who wishes to make a public comment? Anyone on the phone? Last call for public comments. Hearing none, next item, please.
Adjournment.
Moved. Can I get a second for adjournment? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor of adjournment? Aye. We are now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.